Let me ask you something, and I want you to answer this honestly, inside your heart. When was the last time you raised your hands to Allah and felt completely unheard? Not because you stopped believing, not because you stopped praying, but because you kept asking and the answer didn't come. If that feeling is familiar to you, then understand this first. You are not weak, you are not forgotten, and your dua was never ignored. Sometimes Allah brings you to a moment like this, not to break you, but to teach you something deeper about how to ask Him. Because most people know how to make dua, but very few people know how to truly ask Allah. Today, I don't want to give you words to repeat. I don't want to give you a formula. I want to change the way you stand in front of Allah. Because once that changes, your entire relationship with dua changes. Many people complain, I have been making dua for years. But let me ask you something gently. Are you making dua or are you only speaking? There is a difference. Dua is not a background activity. It is not something you do while scrolling. It is not something you rush through because you are tired. Dua is standing at the door of the one who owns your heart, your future, your pain, and your answers. And when you knock on that door, Allah does not look at how perfect your words are. He looks at how present your heart is. Some people raise their hands, but their hearts are already deciding the outcome. If it happens, fine. If it doesn't, I expected that. That is not how you ask Allah. You don't come to Allah already defeated. You don't come already doubting. Because when you ask Allah, you are not asking someone incapable. You are asking the one who says to a thing, be, and it is. But here is something many people don't realize. Dua is not a transaction. You don't say, Ya Allah, I prayed now, you owe me. No, dua is worship. And worship changes you before it changes your situation. Sometimes Allah delays the answer. Not because He is displeased, but because He loves the way you come back to Him. Think about it. Some of the closest moments you've ever had with Allah were in pain, not in ease, not when everything was going well, but when you had nowhere else to go. That late night dua, that silent tear, that whisper no one heard, that was closeness. And Allah does not rush closeness away from you. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that an unanswered dua means rejection. No. Rejection is when Allah cuts you off from Him. And if you are still making dua, you are not rejected. A delayed dua is not a denied dua. It is a guided one. Sometimes Allah is teaching you patience. Sometimes He is protecting you from something you asked for. Sometimes He is preparing you for something greater. And sometimes He is saving it for a day when you will need it more than you need it now. So how should you ask Allah? The first thing you need to understand is this. Allah does not respond to performance. He responds to sincerity. You don't need fancy words. You don't need long sentences. You don't need to sound strong. Some of the most powerful du'as are made when your voice is shaking. When you say, Ya Allah, I don't understand. Ya Allah, I am tired. Ya Allah, I tried. That brokenness is not weakness in front of Allah. It is honesty. And honesty is beloved to Him. Stop pretending you're okay in your dua. Allah already knows you're not. Stop acting strong when you're not. Allah already sees your heart. Come to Him as you are. Because when you come broken, you come real. And Allah loves the real you more than the fake strength you show the world. Another mistake people make is they ask Allah as if He is far away, as if He needs convincing, as if He might not understand. Allah is closer to you than anyone you've ever trusted. He knows the dua. Before you finish making it, So when you ask, don't whisper with fear. Ask with certainty. Not certainty that you will get exactly what you want, but certainty that Allah hears you. Certainty that Allah cares. Certainty that Allah is capable. Because there is a difference between hoping Allah listens and knowing He does. If your child came to you crying, you wouldn't say, let me think if I listen. You would respond because of love. And Allah's mercy is greater than any love you've ever known. So ask Him confidently, not arrogantly, but confidently. And when you ask, don't limit Allah to your imagination. Sometimes we make dua and already decide how the answer should look. But Allah's plan is not restricted by your expectations. You might ask for relief and Allah gives you strength. You might ask for ease and Allah gives you growth. You might ask for something to end and Allah gives you wisdom to endure. And later you realize, if Allah had given you what you asked for, you would have lost something far greater. This is why trust matters. Because dua without trust turns into frustration. But dua with trust turns into peace even before the answer arrives. There will be moments in your life when you feel completely alone. When family cannot help you. When friends don't understand. When people walk away. Those moments are not abandonment. They are invitations. Allah removes the noise so you can hear Him. Allah removes the crowd so you can stand alone with Him. Because on the day you return to Allah, you will stand alone anyway. So He teaches you now, learn to sit with Allah before you need to stand before Him. Another important thing about dua is patience. Not passive patience, not silence, active patience. The kind that keeps asking without complaining. The kind that keeps trusting without bitterness. Some people say, I've been making this dua for so long. Yes. And you are speaking to Allah. Time does not exhaust Him. Repetition does not annoy Him. Persistence is not disrespect. In fact, returning to Allah again and again is a sign of faith. But be careful. Don't let impatience poison your heart. Don't say, maybe Allah doesn't want me. Don't say, maybe I'm not good enough. These thoughts do not come from faith. They come from shaitan. Because if shaitan can't stop you from making dua, he will try to make you doubt it. One of the most beautiful things about dua is that it doesn't just change circumstances. It changes you. You become softer, more aware, more connected. You learn to rely on Allah instead of people. You learn to seek comfort from the one who never leaves. And sometimes the greatest answer to a dua is not what happens around you, but what happens inside you. So, how do you end your dua? Not with fear, not with anxiety. End it with surrender. Say, Ya Allah, I leave this with you. That sentence alone is worship, because it says, I trust you more than I trust myself. And that level of trust is something Allah never ignores. Tonight, before you sleep, try something different. Don't rush your dua. Don't repeat words you don't feel. Just talk. Tell Allah what you're afraid of. Tell Him what you hope for. Tell Him what you don't understand. And then leave it with Him. Because the one who created your heart understands it better than you ever will. And maybe the answer you are waiting for didn't start with a miracle. Maybe it started with this moment of sincerity, with this dua, with you finally asking Allah the way He loves to be asked,